Good morning, everyone. So, in the previous class, we have studied about the energy resources and we have completed it. The energy resources divided into two categories. First one is our conventional or non-renewable source of energy. Second is our non-conventional or renewable source of energy. Okay, and we have also studied about the alternate source of energy. So there are various alternate source of energy like nuclear power, tidal energy, hydrogen energy, geothermal energy. We have studied about that. Next, we are going to study about the land resources. Okay, it is very important, and we have this is our last resources. Okay, and now we are going to study about the land resources. Okay, in India, land is generally called as mother land. It is because of our life depend on it for food, for fiber, fuel, and other basic amenities. Okay, therefore, it is a valuable gift of our nature to human beings. Top layer of the land is called as our soil, which is renewable source of energy and essential for survival of life. Though it is a life support system, but it is overused, which causes environmental problems. The existing land use pattern in different regions in India has been evolved as a result of the action and interaction of the various factors, that is our physical characteristics of land, the institutional framework, the structure of the other resources available, and the location of the region in relation to other aspects of the economic development. Okay, out of the total geographical area, out of the total geographical area of 328 million hectares, the land use statistics statistics are available for roughly 306 million hectares, constituting 93% of the total. Land available for cultivation is approximately 14 million hectares, but it is reducing day by day. It is due to mismanagement. The earth is made up of three principal layers: cores, mantle, and crust. Cores, mantle, and crust. Cores are innermost fluid layer, mantle is the middle layer, and crust is the uppermost layer. So land is a crucial natural resource that it constitutes only about 29% of the total earth's surface. Human beings depend upon land for their food consumption, food occupation, storage at surface, groundwater, and living for housing. Next, we are going to switch about soil erosion. Okay, so in the previously we have studied about soil erosion. You have heard this word. So, what do you mean by soil erosion? Soil erosion means the removal of material from the earth's surface of the soil by the agency of running water, wind, or even by gravity. Since the superficial layers of the soil are the richest in plant food and thus the feeding ground of plants' roots. The process of soil erosion involves a definite loss of valuable plant nutrients, and if it becomes sufficiently intense, and it may lead to complete destruction of the soil as the seat of plant growth. When the soil erosion is intense, the natural soil profile is destroyed or truncated and indeed may never attain full development. In India, soil erosion is a serious problem in certain parts of Chotanagar. Gully erosion is well marked in Gwalior, Mandaspur, Shivpuri of Madhya Pradesh. The following types of erosion are observed in India. Okay. So the process in which the minerals and humus reach topsoil is swept away by various agents like water, wind, etc. is known as our soil erosion. So what are the classification of soil erosion? So the soil erosion is classified into three. First one is our normal erosion, second is our wind erosion, and third is our water erosion. Okay. Mainly these are the two agents of soil erosion. First one is our wind and second one is our water. We have to know that. Then again, water erosion is subdivided into three forms. So first one is our seat erosion, reel erosion, and gully erosion. Okay. So first is our normal erosion. This is the normal feature of any landscape. Geologic erosion, it also called as our geologic erosion. It takes place steadily but so slowly that edges are required for it to make any marked alternation in the major features of the Earth's surface. There is always an equilibrium between the removal and formation of soil, so that unless the equilibrium is disturbed by some outside agency, the mature soil preserves more or less a constant depth and character indefinitely. Okay. So this is a normal feature of any landscape. It takes place steadily or slowly. There is always equilibrium between removal and formation of soil in this type of erosion. Okay. Previously, the soil erosion is like that, and our water level is up to that. And if we are ignoring it, then it becomes a wider one, and also what it affects our water level. Then, if we are ignoring that, then it becomes more wide. Okay, and there is no vegetation also. So that's our erosion. Next is our wind erosion. Wind erosion, it takes place normally in arid or semi-arid areas. Arid means dryness. Okay, dry areas when rainfall is not proper. Okay, or frequent. Arid or semi-arid areas devoid of vegetation where the wind velocity is high. The soil particles on the land surface are lifted and blown off as dust storms when the velocity of the dust bearing wind is retarded. Coarser soil particles are deposited in the forms of dunes, and thus fertile lands are rendered unfit for cultivation. In other places, fertile soil is blown away by winds and the subsoil is exposed. As a result, the productive capacity of the soil is considerably reduced. Okay, so these are the examples, these are the picture images of wind erosion. Next is our seat erosion. This is again, next we are going to study about the water erosion, and the water erosion is again subdivided into seat erosion, reel erosion, and gully erosion. So what do you mean by seat erosion? Seat erosion, it removes a thin covering of soil from large areas, often from entire fields, more or less uniformly during every rain, which produces a runoff. This type of erosion is very insidious since it keeps the cultivator almost ignorant of its ill effects. It is generally neglected, although the soil deteriorates slowly and imperceptibly. Its existence, however, can be detected by the muddy color of the runoff from the fields. Okay, we can see the we can see the images of soil erosions. Okay, next is our reel erosion. When How it happens when seed erosion is allowed to continue unchecked, the seed laden runoff forms a well defined, okay, but minute finger shaped grooves over the entire field. Such thin channeling is known as our reel erosion. In the seed erosion, the groups are so small. If we are ignoring it, if we are not going to check it or um, remake it, then it will form as our reel erosion. Okay. Next is our gully erosion. When reel erosion is neglected, the teeny groups develop into wider and the teeny erosion is in develop teeny groups develop into wider and deeper channels which may assume a huge size. This is called gully erosion. Gullies are the most spectacular evidence of the destruction of soil. The gullies tend to deepen and widen with every heavy rainfall. They cut off large fields into small fragments and in course of time make them unfit for the cultivation. Okay. If we are ignoring the seed erosion, because here the tiny groups are formed. If we if we are ignoring it, then we are going to face the real erosion. Okay, the groups are the group size is also increasing. Okay, next is our gully erosion. If we are ignoring this real erosion or unchecked it, then it forms as our gully erosion, and the groups are develop into wider and deeper channels, which may assume a huge size. Okay, thank you.